You roll onto the on-ramp, feel the turbo wake up, and for the first time all week, you ask the engine to work. The truck pulls harder, the sound tightens, and a thin cloud that's been living in the exhaust gets burned away in seconds. Power comes back like someone took a sock out of the intake. Most people think that's magic. It isn't. It's a diesel finally doing the job it was built to do. And the rule that unlocks that feeling? We'll start there, because if you don't get this first piece right, the rest won't matter. Number 1. Give your diesel real work. Baby a diesel and you're teaching it bad habits. Short trips, light throttle, never letting it heat soak under load. That's how soot builds in the intake, how EGR passages gum up, how the DPF fills faster than it should. The fix isn't abuse, it's purposeful load, at the right time. Warm the engine fully, find open road, roll into the throttle and let the turbo make honest boost for a few minutes. Long on-ramp? Good. Steady hill? Even better. You want temperature and flow. That heat bakes moisture out of oil vapor, burns off light deposits, and keeps the aftertreatment doing what it was designed to do. If you tow or haul, you already see the benefit. Cleaner regens, sharper throttle response, smoother idle the next day. You don't floor it from cold. You don't bounce off the limiter. You simply let the truck work on purpose once or twice a week. Think of it like brushing your teeth for the engine's lungs. And if that sounds simple, good, because the next habit is where most good intentions go wrong. Number 2, don't idle, except when you must. Extended idling is a slow leak in your engine's health. It loads the oil with soot. It can glaze cylinder walls. It wastes fuel, invites carbon, and makes the DPF's job harder. Around town, park it and shut it off. But there's one time you should idle on purpose, right after hard running. When you come off the highway or drop a trailer and the turbo is glowing hot, killing the engine instantly dumps oil pressure while the turbo is still spinning and heat soaking. That's how bearings get hurt. The fix is easy and boring. Drive the last mile or two like a grown-up. Keep RPM low. Stay out of boost. Let airflow and coolant do the first 95% of the cooldown while you're moving. Then, when you park, idle for 30 to 60 seconds and shut it off. That's it. No need to loiter for 10 minutes. No need for magic gadgets. Just be thoughtful about the last minute of your trip. Do this and you protect the turbo, the oil films in the bearings, and the seals across the whole drivetrain. Number 3, oil changes. Owner's manuals love big intervals. Reality doesn't. Modern diesels work their oil hard. EGR pushes fine soot back into the intake stream. Post-injection during DPF regeneration can wash a little fuel into the crankcase. Short, cold trips never fully evaporate moisture. That's why long-term drivers who see 300,000 plus miles without drama treat 5,000 to 6,500 miles, 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers as the real window for oil and filter. They use quality oil that meets the spec on the cap and a good filter, then change early. Oil is cheap, engines are not. 2 extra habits separate pros from the rest. First, check the dipstick every few weeks. Normal use can consume a little oil, and running low is a silent killer. Second, use your nose. If the oil smells like raw diesel, that's fuel dilution. Don't panic, just shorten the interval and get back on schedule. A small note for the detail-obsessed. If you do a lot of stop and go or frequent cold starts, you're in the severe service bucket, even if the brochure says otherwise. Set your interval for your life, not the lab.
Number 4, respect the regen. Your DPF is a filter. Filters fill. Regeneration burns that soot to ash. Simple. What confuses people is how and when it happens. Passive regen happens while cruising at highway speed with good exhaust temperature, often without you noticing. Active regen is when the ECU bumps exhaust heat to burn soot on purpose, and the truck may raise idle, change the exhaust note, or flash an icon. 2 rules keep things happy. First, don't stop a regen halfway every time. If you're in an active regen near home, take the long way, keep a steady speed, and let it finish. Cutting it short over and over forces more regens, increases fuel dilution, and speeds up DPF loading. Second, give the truck opportunities for passive regen. That's the work it session from Section 1 paying off, steady highway runs at operating temp. If you live on short hops, stack the deck in your favor. Once a week, run 15 to 20 minutes at a stable speed. You're not racing, you're providing heat and flow. The payoff is fewer warnings, better mileage, and a truck that feels awake instead of choked. Number 5. Fuel discipline. Where you fill matters. High-volume stations, busy truck stops, and major highway brands turn over diesel constantly. That means fresher fuel and less water condensing in underground tanks. Low-volume stations with dusty, lonely pumps invite the opposite: stale fuel, water, and even microbial growth if it's been sitting long enough. Water is the enemy. Your truck gives you tools to fight it: a water separator with a drain and often a sensor. Use them. Crack the drain at service intervals or after a questionable fill and check for water. If you ever see the water in fuel warning, don't ignore it. Get it out before it gets into injectors. 2 pro moves save thousands. Keep receipts and reset your trip meter at every fill. If you get a bad tank, you have proof. Many big chains will help if their fuel caused damage. And keep a spare fuel filter in the truck with the right wrench or socket. If you do pick up a slug of water or debris, swapping a filter on the shoulder beats paying for a tow and an injector set. Additives? Use them with a purpose, not as a ritual. Anti-gel in real winter, a quality cleaner if you're chasing a known deposit issue, and lubricity only if your manual recommends it. Fresh, clean fuel from the right station is still the main event. Number 6. Cold starts. Cold is where impatient drivers tax their engines most. The playbook is simple. Cycle the glow plug light and wait for it to go out. Start. Let oil pressure stabilize for 30 to 40 seconds. Then, drive gently. Not idle in the driveway for 15 minutes, drive. Light load warms everything evenly, including transmission, differential, and aftertreatment. Idling a frozen engine just makes a cold, sooty mess. If you live in real winter, plug in the block heater overnight. It's not about creature comfort. It's about instant oil flow and kinder clearances. Use a winter-rated diesel that matches your climate. And when the forecast dives below the gel point, dose anti-gel, as directed, before the cold snap, not after you're already stuck. Don't hammer the throttle in the first few miles. Aluminum pistons and iron blocks expand at different rates. Give them a moment to agree on a shape. The engine will feel crisper by the time you reach the main road anyway. One last sanity check. Clear snow away from the tailpipe before starting. A blocked exhaust can back up pressure and play games with sensors. Simple step, big payoff.
Number 7. Think in systems, not parts. The diesel driver's mindset. Diesels don't just have a turbo or have a DPF. They are systems where one habit affects 5 components. Short trips and babying lead to clogged EGR passages, frequent active regens, fuel-diluted oil, and sluggish response. Bad fueling choices become water in the separator, then rust in rails, then injector damage. Ignoring a hot shutdown cooks a turbo, which throws metal into the oil, which takes out bearings you thought were fine. When you think in systems, your habits change. You stop treating the engine like a museum piece and start treating it like a tool. You plan your week so the truck gets at least one real highway session. You end hard drives with a calm mile and a short idle. You schedule oil and filters at realistic intervals, not brochure dreams. You pick stations that feed semis all day. You keep a spare fuel filter and the few tools you need to swap it, because you'd rather win the roadside than lose the week. This isn't about turning wrenches every night. It's about stacking small, boring choices in your favor. Do that, and the truck stops feeling fragile. It feels like it's supposed to feel, ready. Here's the litmus test. Do you treat your diesel like a machine that wants to work or a gadget that might break? Real diesel drivers keep it simple. Warm it up, then let it earn its keep every so often. Don't idle away its life, but give it a short cool down after a hard run. Change oil early and check it between services. Let regens finish. Buy fresh fuel at busy stations. Drain water when needed, and carry a spare fuel filter. In winter, glow, wait, drive gently, and plug in when it makes sense. None of this is flashy. It's not a trick part or a viral hack. It's a rhythm. Once it's part of your week, the engine runs cleaner, the DPF stays happier, the turbo stays sharp, and the truck feels like it's breathing easy again. That's when you know you've crossed the line from someone who owns a diesel to someone who drives one. The badge on the tailgate doesn't decide that. Your habits do.